this happened. Kayana did, talk to Kamehameha like, look, man, I don't think we should let this guy go. I mean, we got to take care of this. And Kamehameha said, no. Kayana said, okay, and went out and, tried to kill Metcalf and the crew. Like, he really did try to do that. And I was a little unsure of how to present this, because we know, and this is what we can talk about, is that it inevitably leads to Metcalf leaving, and he actually ends up in Olovalu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I didn't specify specifically Olovalu in the show.
Yeah.
Because obviously I wanted Kaiana to see the impact of what happened, as opposed to hearing about it, right? I never alluded where it happened necessarily, but we're just saying it happened in this other harbor, right? But it's Olovalu. Can we talk about Olovalu for a minute?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, Simon Metcalf, who had come, he had ended up in Hawaii first headed to Kelekeku, if I remember right, and then he was up in Honolulu on the south side of Maui. It's there that, in fact, the first real interaction of violence also occurs, where he supposedly also whips someone, and having that kind of energy, where you're trading, but it's really about, I'm going to get from you, and even if I have to beat you down like an animal, is already ingrained in that mentality. And so Metcalf folks are in this rage, and they prepare. And, sadly, what happens after 3 days, the people from Olowalu go out to trade, and I think people came from all over, in fact, Lanai and other islands all came, and they kind of guided them to come right in front of the side of the ship. So they got them all on one side of the ship. And just like that scene, I mean, the whole mentality was just to obliterate. And they said over 100 people lost their lives. Countless others were injured and hurt. But this is who Metcalf actually is. Is this supposed human being who is willing to just punish over 100 deaths are taken over a ship. And so I think that's that one scene that's portrayed in Seven, I think where they load up the nails, and there you can just see that mass death that occurs. I think for me, it also portrays, this is the kind of violence that many so-called native and indigenous people, Aboriginal peoples around the world have shared those kind of experience of violence, especially with trying to interact with the so-called European colonizer or settler or trader. What we see happening in the world to this day, I think, you can see that same kind of violence upon native peoples that is almost normalized in that business world.
Yeah.
And and our people were just, innocent people just trying to trade the best they could. In a way, I think that's what Kamehameha represents also, seeing that in this scene here. They see as trade as being this maybe more honorable kind of sense of human to human. And Metcalf represents what Kayana already sees as being, their world of trade is to basically exploit and take as much as it can, including human cargo. I think it was in the scene 7 that shows that anything is for sale. Anything can be bought. Even human life can be taken for profit. That's us right now today. We're dealing with the Metcalfs right now. So what do we do?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's an easy answer, but I do know this, unless we start to think about engaging it, we're never going to find the right answer. But I think part of the answer, and I think a major piece of the answer, is exactly what you just explained in regards to that model of things don't have to be solved in a Hollywood fashion. Mm-hmm. Issues can be solved in a native way, alternative way, a way that we see as being a lot more human or a relational way.